So how do attention skills impact reading ability for our kids, or for you for that matter? Poor attention skills really interfere with reading, not just kind of the ability to finish a book, but with actual reading itself, accurate decoding, comprehension, fluency, and then retention, right, of what we've read. Reading is a very complex task, and it's one of the most attention-intense tasks a child does in school. Let's talk about how it's impacted by attention skills. So one is just difficulty with accurate word reading, or another word for that is difficulty with decoding. Reading requires what we call sustained attention, the ability for prolonged mental effort on things like letter patterns, sound and symbol relationships in reading, word endings, and just even small visual details. Even if phonics skills are strong or present for your child, inconsistent attention makes reading kind of look careless and sloppy, but it may not be actually a phonics issue, it could be an attention issue. The other area that attention issues impact is reading fluency. So when attention drifts and we're reading, it becomes more choppy, the pace slows down, and sometimes even like expression can disappear. They just are kind of monotone. So part of what drives fluency is processing speed, and processing speed and attention skills are linked. Right? And so when you're not processing quickly, often that causes attention issues because, for example, if it's low processing is making the reading task more difficult than it should be because it takes so much mental energy to do it, which can then cause mental fatigue, overwhelm, and that also then, looks like poor sustained attention. So processing speed and attention and reading skills go together. It really affects reading comprehension. I think we can all relate to this where, we've read a paragraph and then you get to the end of the paragraph and it's like, wait, did I actually just read that? Attention enables us to hold our information in working memory so we can retain it, but also then make the connections between ideas across sentences, the right inferences. So if attention wanders, what happens for our kids is they typically forget what happened in the previous paragraph. They can read a page, again, have no idea what was said, and then, at the end, you're like, so what was that about? And like, I don't remember. So again, often this is mistaken for a comprehension problem, when actually attention is the issue driving that. Their memory might be fine, right? But if you're not engaged in the text and thinking your mind is elsewhere, you're not going to retain it. Children with weak attention during reading often feel really frustrated. They can believe they're bad readers. They can avoid independent reading and even develop anxiety around reading or schoolwork. So the root issue is typically not like intelligence or effort. It may be related to attention and their ability to stay on task. Because reading is not just a phonics skill, it's a really complex skill that requires attention skills.